on the sidelines during the game when they talk to the coach, like you're 27 points behind and you're getting your butt kicked. Now, how are you going to turn this around? And that may be even more intelligent than some of your questions. Frank, before I move on, any final comments? Over.
And we'll be listening out 7-3. This is W1AD.
This is Frank, W1AD, regular on the net. We are looking for general check-ins now for the Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Net. General check-ins. Please come now with your call sign. Over.
Victor Echo 3, Oscar, Uniform Alpha. My name is Rudy. I'm in Toronto, Canada. Please go ahead, sir. Echo 3, Victor Central Scotland, outside Glasgow. Personal is Andy, Alpha November Delta Yankee.
Thank you both. I have two check-ins. One is the E3OUA, and could you come back, please? I didn't hear it right, and I want to make sure I don't get your call sign wrong. Second check-in, please come back right now so for my log. Over.
It's Mike 7, Echo Charlie Victor, Personal Andy Alpha November Delta Yankee, outside of Glasgow, Scotland. QSL.
QSL. Thanks, Andy. Let me go back to E3OUA. I believe you said in Canada. Good morning. Welcome to the Worldwide Rag 2 Amateur Radio Net. Do you have any traffic to pass? Over.
I have no traffic to pass. However, the big question is really, how do you feel when you're losing? How do you feel when you're losing? Actually, okay, that's enough. This is the E3OUA, Rudy, and I'm in Toronto, Canada. Take care, my friend, and go ahead. I'll shut up now. Go ahead, sir.
Well, Rudy, how do I feel about all those questions I asked? I'm hoping it's a good game to watch. And my favorite thing to eat during the game is anything. I am personally rooting for Kansas City, but my wife is hoping Philadelphia wins. And so I have to be somewhat subdued because she's the cook in the house. And do I really care about this? Goodness, it's hype and it's great for the economy. But I could do without the halftime show. And it's become a thing. And that's basically what I have to say. Anyway, thanks for checking in. I do not mind being teased. In fact, I don't even mind being insulted as long as it's funny. Anything amusing on my watch is always good. Rudy, do you have any further comments before we move on? Over.
No, sir. Thank you very much for letting me take you off. Not a football watcher. Because, number one, I'm totally blind. And I never can understand it. So, no comments. Again, sir, all the best. And letting the Americans win. And if you are siding with Philadelphia, from the other side. Sorry, sir. Please excuse me. Please go ahead.
Rudy, thank you, 73. Moving on, MM7ECA, Mike, 7, Echo, Charlie, Alpha. Andy in Glasgow, Scotland. Andy, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Over.
Good afternoon to you. I quite often pop by and listen to you on that, so I just popped in to say hello to everybody and hope you're all well and things are doing okay over there. Back to you.
I need to come back. I lost the signal for a second. I had some questions that I'm asking the people in the States about today's football game, American football game. But it may not, with all the hoopla that there has been in this country, probably very few other people care. And normally we ask questions about amateur radio just to have some conversation. Today's questions were about this game. And so let me ask you, are you aware of the, and I quote, Super Bowl in this country, the American Championship football game? And does anybody care? That was my question. Andy, what do you think? Over.
Yeah, quite blunt answer. No, I don't really care, to be honest. Back to you.
Well, I think sometimes we take ourselves too seriously around here. Before I move on, do you have any further traffic? Over.
I'm so any CV returning. No further traffic. Just really wanted to pop in and say hello to everybody and hope you're all well. Best wishes to you and your families, and I shall sit on the side. Back to you.
Andy, thank you. The best to you and yours. 73. This is Steve, Kilo Juliet 4 Zulu Oscar Yankee for the Worldwide RAC2 Amateur Radio Net. Still looking for additional general check-ins. General check-ins, please come now. Over.
VA3, KKY, Victor, Alpha 3, I forgot to do that, Kilo Yankee in Toronto.
VA3KKY, Kevin in Toronto, are you back home? And what's shaking? Over.
I am back home, and I did hear you say something about a question, so let me ask you quickly, what is your question? I heard, and I still forgot. Back to you.
Well, we don't talk about anybody's memory because mine is notoriously unreliable. The question was, On this side on your southern border, there's all this hoopla today about a football game. The questions were you aware of it? Do you care? Do you want to make a prediction of who will win? And if you are going to pay attention to it, what's your favorite thing to eat during the game? Those were the questions. Over.
Well, particularly for myself, no. But for the people I'll be hanging out later, I'll say it a lot. Where I'll say, "I'm thinking about it for you. I'm cheering for you." So I've kind of rehearsed that because I'll be hanging out with some people. We'll be eating and just kind of messing about. So they'll be watching the big TV, and I'll probably doodle around with my phone, and as I said, have some smoke or something to do, something to eat, whatever, right? Because there'll be a lot of people at this person's house I'll be hanging out at. And then that's basically it. So no, I'll mostly just say, I'm cheering for you, or hopefully it works out for you. So I know to say that a lot around these times. So I know they care about it, and I guess I'll say I care about it for them. I mean, it's just not as interesting for me. I'm just not really focused on it completely. But so that'll be that. Thanks for asking, though. But anyways, I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. It's not too bad here. It's like -4, -5, so somewhere in the 20s Fahrenheit. So it is cold as you can believe it, but it's February. February's supposed to be like that, right? We'll say that until a few more months, and then we'll be ready for a new change, ready for new seasons. I guess we can fool ourselves when we change the time next month. Okay, so yep, thanks a lot. I'll turn it back to you. This is the A3KKY in Toronto. Yes, I am in Toronto now, and I'll be listening. Back to next. I'm Kevin.
Kevin, thank you. That was a very articulate answer. Most of the time we ask questions for discussion about amateur radio topics, but it's every week it's hard to think of a new question. So I took the coward's way out and looked at the calendar, and there is this game today that's gotten all this hype. I will be watching with my wife and going to enjoy it, but it is primarily a visual thing. So thank you for checking in. Hope you're well and enjoy the party you're going to. Moving along, this is the Worldwide Rag-Chew Amateur Radio Net. My name is Steve, Kilo Juliet 4 Zulu Oscar Yankee. There was an additional person trying to check in a few minutes ago, but it didn't come through well, so let's try again. General check-ins, please come now. Over.
To Echo Zero, Echo Victor Papa, 2E0 EVP, Sheffield, England.
Zero EVP, Martin, good afternoon. Hope all is well with you. The floor is yours. Over.
Roger, yeah, good morning to you, Steve. Good afternoon from this side of the world. Time is 4:18 in the afternoon here. Chucking it down with rain over this side. It's very dark and overcast with the weather here. So yeah, I think you've made a topic for today. I think it's about American football. I myself, I don't follow American football, but I know at one time it used to be quite big over here in the UK. I'm not too sure if it's still the same now. I know that one of our TV stations over here used to show the Super Bowl every year. But I tried getting into American football, but it was very confusing, so I gave up on it over.
Yes, it does get sort of hectic out on the field. My guess is the game is still being broadcast, and one of the teams plays one game a year, I think, in Wembley, and they're trying to expand worldwide. But in Europe, football means something very, very different. If you find me at kj4zoy@gmail.com, I can try to give you a very, very simplistic idea of what goes on. But it's a matter of trying to advance a ball down a field while a bunch of really big guys are jumping on you and trying to get you to stop. And there is rules about how to do that and who can do what, but that's the short version of it. I understand you did quite well with substitute net control. Thank you for standing in. My sister is quite ill, and that would have been my week. And my sister is quite ill, and she lives about 1,300 miles away. I guess that's closer to 2,000 kilometers. In Florida, I'm in Texas, and we went to visit. And so I really appreciate it. I'm sure everyone else said so too. And thank you. Hope all is well with you and yours. Any further comments before I move on? Over.
Roger, well, I hope your sister is doing a lot more better now, and hope she makes full recovery there, Steve. And yeah, I was a little bit nervous in doing the net again, because I used to do nets on the WWARG conference server many years ago. Well, just over 5 years ago, but I've not done them since. So it was a bit of a learning curve. I'm trying to get back into it. I started doing one on the Discord server on the Monday nights and seeing how that goes. And then if that takes off, I probably would go back into doing nets. At one stage, I got a bit bored because it seemed to be the same topics every week, and that was mainly the weather. So I went off it a little bit, but yeah, hopefully I can get back into it, and you never know, I may be able to help on the Sundays in the near future. Anyway, thanks for letting me check in there, Steve. And you have a good, pleasant day over there. And give my love and regards to your sister, and hopefully she's a lot better soon. From 2 Echo 0 Echo Victor Papa.
Well, thank you very much for your good wishes. I'm sure you did fine. You know, don't forget too, since no one can see us on the radio, Stuart's the only one who puts his face up. Since no one can see us, we can tell everybody we are the most good-looking fellas that they ever met, and they have no other evidence. In my case, I think I have a face for radio, so that's how it is. Again, thank you so much, and have a good evening and a better week. This is the Worldwide Ragchu Amateur Radio Net, taking general check-ins. General check-ins for anyone who hasn't yet and waiting. Please come now. Over.
Kilo Charlie 4 Zulu Echo X-Ray, Charles in Kentucky.
Kilo 7, Yankee Bravo Papa, Kilo 7, Yankee Bravo Papa, Annette in Twin Falls, Idaho.
Thank you both. Net Control recognizes KC4ZEX and KK7YBP as check-ins, taking them in order. Charles in Kentucky, KC4ZEX, good morning. Hope you are well. Any traffic? Over.
Good morning to everybody. Not a really good day here. It's a dreary, cold, about 33 degrees, a little bit of wind blowing. Yesterday was kind of the same way, rained off and on all day. Not much going on from this location. You're talking about the football game. I've never been a big follower of football. I wasn't interested in football in high school and never did get very interested after that. I like basketball a little bit. If I'm going to watch a game, I'd rather see a good baseball game than any of them. But I said, not much going on from this location.
Well, Charles, I think you represent a major part of the country that wonders why is all the hoopla. I agree with you sometimes on baseball. Now that they've sped the game back up, where a 2.5-hour game used to take 4 hours and not too much happens on the field. But that's great. Now, one question then, even though you're probably not watching the game, if you were watching the game, what would be your favorite thing to eat? Over.
Probably a good hot dog or maybe some popcorn or something like that would be my favorite thing.
Fantastic. This is an equal opportunity net, and you get to have whatever you want. Thanks so much for your check-in. I hope you have a great week. And I'll move on to KK7YBP Annette, Twin Falls, Idaho. Annette, you and I had never spoken. Welcome to the net. Over.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me today. I just was roaming through and found your net and figured, oh, look, I'll drop it, give you a check mark on your list, and this way you've got an extra one. Well, it's 29 degrees outside, feels like 22. We're going to get a high of 35. Such a wonderful, wonderful day. No snow on the ground, which I'm okay with. Don't get me wrong. I don't want it. And it's been like that all winter. It's been really weird. We've only had like 3 dustings of snow out here, which is really, really abnormal. We usually have snow piled up on the ground and that, waiting for it to go away. So yeah, it's been a really odd winter down here. So other than that, not much else is going on. I think I'm gonna make up some homemade French toast for breakfast this morning. Everybody's still sleeping. Well, the husband's still sleeping, I should say. And let him sleep in today since he works all week and busts his hump. So other than that, I'll take it back to you. If you would be so kind to give me your call sign slowly and phonetically, I would greatly appreciate it because I write slow. So I appreciate you, Net Control, and you have a wonderful day. KK7YBP.
Absolutely, Annette. It's my pleasure. My call sign is Kilo Juliet 4 Zulu Oscar Yankee My name is Steve, and I am located in Leander, Texas. Leaden. Wait, let me try that again. Leander. Leander, Texas. And thank you for joining us. You may look in Facebook for the Worldwide RAGQ Amateur Radio Net page. And there is some interesting information there. And there is an allied group that is on the Discord server that you might be interested in also. And so that's on look for information. Now, normally we ask discussion questions about amateur radio, but since I was running out of questions to ask, I decided to ask about the football game that all the hoopla has been about for today. And so the question to you is, are you aware of it? Do you care? Can you predict a winner? And what's your favorite thing to eat during the game? Should you be watching it? Annette, do you have any answers? Over.
Well, thank you, Steve. Well, let's see. We will be watching the game on and off because the two teams that are playing are really not who we want in the Super Bowl this year. But if I would have to pick a winner, I would say go Eagles. But yeah, we're going to watch it off and on today. And let's see. Favorite thing to eat? Oh my goodness. Usually I eat veggies and blue cheese dressing. But I think this year we're going to do chips. Well, we're going to do Fritos with some homemade dip and some veggies to munch on because, well, we're going to watch it off and on. So, you know, but yeah, go Eagles. Can't stand the Chiefs. Oh, yeah, and I got another QSL card to add to my collection. I made a New Year's resolution this year that I am actually collecting QSL cards for the year. And so I have another one to add to the list. I am 57 days on the air, and I am currently studying for my extra. So, and I just use my phone, and I am going through Echolink today, Steve, because, well, obviously my little Yazoo over here is null and void for the moment until we can get it to work. So, yeah, we need to get some frequencies in there. So I will take it back to you, Steve. Have a wonderful day. KK7YDP.
Annette, thank you. If you write to me, kj4zoy@gmail.com, and send me your address, I'll mail you a QSL card because I have a bunch of them and I rarely use them, and I'd be happy to mail it to you. The next thing is, there are a couple of guys in South Carolina that are old-time radio heads that teach a class. It's free, although they ask for donations at the end to help with them buying new equipment. And that helped me pass my extra exam. I'm old enough that what I knew about electronics was all vacuum tubes, and solid state electronics were just making me dizzy. And these guys put it all in logical order and easy to understand language. And I mean, the course was like somewhere 10, 12, 14 weeks, once a week. And you could register directly or watch it on YouTube. But it might be something you're interested in unless you're having a fine old time just doing it with the book. So again, if you write to me, kj4zoy@gmail, I'd be happy to share that. Annette, thanks for the check-in. Have a great day, and 73 to you and your family. This is the Worldwide RAGQ Amateur Radio Net. This is Steve, KJ4ZOY, and we are moving on. It is 34 minutes after the hour, looking for additional general check-ins. General check-ins, please come now. Over.
Mike Zero,
Alpha
Oscar, Mike
Foxtrot number
Tango.
4, Sierra Hotel, AF4SH, Southeast Georgia.
Net Control recognizes 2 check-ins, M0OMT. Stewart and AF4SH, unless I got that wrong, please stand by and I'll come back to you. Stewart, good afternoon. I hope you're well. The floor is yours. Over.
Yeah, KJ4ZOYM0OMT, yes. I realised I was doubling, that's why I dropped the key so you could get the other guy's call sign. I think you have it right. Happy Sunday from me. Not really a football follower or American football. So there's been plenty going on in the Northeast. We've had two local cities playing football, soccer this weekend. So there's been a big buzz in the air over here as well. I don't think I've got anything to add. I think we've said everything over social media. Nice to hear you doing the net today. Good to have you back. I hope your sister's all right. And I hope you're glad to be back on your normal soil. So I'll give you a back, Steve. If you've got any questions for me, then fire away.
Thanks, Stuart. With regard to my sister, she's 86 years old and with pancreatic cancer, and it would be a miracle if she survives it. But we're hoping that her lifespan will be whatever it would have been normally. And, I'm going to be 80 this year, this summer. This is going to be a tricky decade for all of us. And you don't realize it till you get here. But thank you so much for your good wishes. American football is a big thing in America. And the word soccer, best I could tell, I heard it once that it somehow came from a contraction of the words association football. And I'm not quite sure I see how that happened, but that's my 2 cents. So the question I have left on my list is, when you are watching a game that you are interested in, what's a good thing to eat? Over.
Yeah, M0OMT. Well, first of all, but on a serious note, I hear what you're saying about your sister, and it sounds nasty, but I hope it isn't drawn out, because anybody that's been around the cancer, it's heartbreaking to see somebody dehydrating in front of you. It really is. So I hope she goes peacefully, put it that way. But yeah, chocolate. It would have to be chocolate, because I'd be sitting down with a wife, and I would have to share. So, and women love chocolate. She's not getting much of the other, Steve. So it would have to be a big bag of chocolate. KJ4ZOYM0OMT.
Stuart, thank you. I'll write some more to you separately later. Chocolate, huh? Well, um, my guess is Miss Jacqueline is pretty good about competing for her share. So you just be a good husband and take care of it. Thank you for the check-in. As I said, I'll talk to you offline. Next, I've got AF4SH, someone I've never talked to before. Sir, also your name, first name, and city, if you please. Over.
Okay, my friend, and everybody here on the net, the call sign is AF4SH, Alpha Fox 4 Sierra Hotel, and the first name is Terry. Our TTH is southeast Georgia in a small town in the middle of the swamp called Ludowici, about an hour southwest of the city of Savannah. And to answer the question of the day with you today, which I've been monitoring and really enjoying the net, is nope, don't watch the non-functional league stuff anymore thanks to Kaepernick a few years back. I sold everything to do with the NFL, all that out of my house from then. So I'm a big fan of the European football, whereas here states I would call soccer. But food, everything that everybody mentioned, all the snacks in the world, I tell you what, if you got a spread out there with between cauliflower, broccoli with the ranch dressing or melted cheese, all the way up to fish and chips. Bring it on, and there'll be always a happy face around your table. I'll return back to you, AF4SH, over.
Terry, welcome to the net, and I'm glad you have such an ecumenical view towards snacks. I agree with you. There are no bad snacks. You might like some better than others, but there are absolutely no bad snacks. I don't know how aware you are of this net. You might look for the Worldwide Rag Chew Amateur Radio Net Facebook page, and that'll give you a lot more information. And thank you for answering the questions of the day. By next week, we'll be back to talking to amateur radio again. I think Stu, who is just on, will be in the chair next week. And before I move on, back to you for any final comments. Over. Terry, I'm sorry, there was a Barron station on the line. Any final comments? Over. Well, I'll take that as dead air as a no. Terry, if you're still there, 7-3 to you and yours. It is 42 minutes after the hour, and we are still looking for general check-ins for the Worldwide Rag Chew Amateur Radio Net. This is KJ4ZOY. General check-ins, QRZ.
Yes, you got G7HSY, George 7 Hotel Sierra Yankee, name's Brian, over in the UK, on the northeast coast. Back to you, Steve.
G7HSY. Brian, good afternoon. Hope all is well with you. The floor is yours with any traffic you may have. Over.
Yeah, I don't know who that was, like, but there's a G7HSY in sunny South Shields, as they say, but it's not sunny at the moment. Yeah, question about football. Well, I'm more of a football supporter, if you know what I mean. I'm like, the other guy there, like, you know, Stu. I don't think he's interested. Neither I am really, like, I do watch it, but I don't get ecstatic. But never mind. I have noticed Sunderland is playing over here with various other matches in Newcastle. And we've got some people from the States over here supporting Sunderland. They were in.
Understood. It's nomenclature gets tricky. Well, let me get down to the final question of today's discussion, and that is, when you are watching a game of football or American football, what's your favorite thing to eat? Over. Brian, our gremlin seems to be gone again. Did you hear my question about your favorite thing to eat when you're watching any kind of a good game? Over. Well, I can't contact Brian Stewart. Are you still on? Is there anything strange going on with the electronics? Over.
Testing, testing. Hello, testing, testing. Hello, testing, testing. Uncle Sam had 2 Queen Mary Crane. Testing, 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 testing. UT2 Queen Mexico. Hi, listen. Thank you.